Rosenzweig that was shown to me by Rabbi Haim this afternoon about this week's parsha, Vayetze. So in this week's parsha, Yaakov, goes out from Canaan, from his home, and he heads to find his wife from the daughters of Lavan, from his uncle's family. And the Torah says, Rav Rosenzweig points out very interestingly, that there is this sort of triple language of his leaving. First, but right before the parsha begins, from the end of last week's parsha, it says that his father Yitzchak told him he had to leave. Then it says that he sort of obeyed his father's command. And then at the beginning of this week's parsha, it says that he actually went out. So why does the Torah need to say this all different times? What Rav Rosenzweig suggests, kind of interestingly, is that the emphasis is placed on his decision to leave as a personal transformation, as a definitive point in his life, that he had a command from his father, an obligation of what he was supposed to do. He had a knowledge that he had to complete it, and yet the first thing he does is spend 14 years, according to Rashi, 14 years learning in the base Medrash Shel Aver. He spends 14 years learning, and according to the Medrash, he stays up all night, every night, and he's learning non-stop, and he's committing himself to all his studies very intensively. Worse than Columbia. Well, I think it's more his commitment. I think that some of the pre-meds might be able to sympathize with Yaakov. He was really very committed to being this model of Ishtam Yoshev Mo'oled. He was this person, he was a very simple Jew, who committed himself to Torah study, and he did that beyond everything else. And that was sort of his mode. And as he gets up and he goes out to find his wife among the daughters of Lavan, he does so in such a way that is to sort of engage the world, and that the ultimate representation of that is the dream he has along his route, where he sees the angels ascending and descending from the ladder. And the way that Rav Rosenzweig explains this is, according to Drashim, is that what Yaakov saw were the angels ascending and the angels descending, to see that the will of God, which is manifest in these angels, that the will of God is sort of in Shemayim, it's up in heaven, and it's also on earth. And that was something that was a chiddush, an original thing to Yaakov, to really understand in a profound way both his responsibilities in heaven and his responsibilities on earth, and the way in which godliness is found, both in heaven, both in Torah study, and in engagement in the world, in working and in marriage and in many other institutions of sort of our everyday life. And the different stages we go through in life that may not be necessarily as filled with intensive Torah study, or academic studies in Columbia. Yes, I got it. So I think that one of the really special things here is in sort of appreciating godliness in all of the different facets of our lives, and sort of engagement in that from different perspectives. I really experience it from my parents and from my whole family, and I experience it in my classes from my amazing professors and in my friends and community here.